What we need is to find the center load for the trailer. So if I have one coil, that's where the coil would go. Alright, I wrote it down center on this particular drawing, and on our trailers for roll tights, it's normally the center marker light. So we got 3 coils, one at 5100, and the other one at 7200, and the next one at 19,500. So what I like to do is start with my smaller coils. In this case it's the 5100 and the 7200, and I like placing them on the back axle. So what I do after that is I find out how much of 5100 goes into 7200, which in this case is 1.4. So roughly it's between the halfway marker and the center point of coil 2 is the center of the two coils combined. So then we get to do it all over again. Now that we know the center point of coil 1 and 2, which is 20 feet from the center of the trailer, we divide the total weight of coil 1 and 2, which is 12,300, into the 19,500 coil 3, which is roughly 1.6. So 1.6 divided by 20 feet is 12.5 feet. As a result, coil 3 goes 12.5 feet in front of your center load point. Now, of course, you're not going to do the exact math when you're actually loading a trailer, but if you can just do the rough estimates in your head, rounding off all the detailed numbers, you'll get it right. You pretty much just start with the smaller coil, think how much that smaller coil goes into the bigger coil, and then space it out to the value of how much the smaller coil goes into the bigger coil. So if you're spaced out, for example, you have one coil and it's 10,000 pounds and spaced out 20 feet, and you got another one that's 30,000. Well, that's 1/3 of 20 feet, which ends up being roughly 7 feet from center load point. So do a couple of them, on your own, brainstorm, and you'll see how it gets easier. But after a while, you don't have to think about it. It does all become subconscious. Your subconscious does all the math in your head, and the coils just tend to go down on the deck. So don't think we're mathematicians, but when you're starting out, it's a good way to get used to where you should position your coils. Alright, so if you have any questions, make a comment. I'm sure someone will answer it. And yeah, let's have a conversation.